Welcome back, and it's time for Final Thoughts. We've spent the majority of the show talking about woke sports, and I know there are some of you out there who don't understand what's wrong with sports getting woke or political, or athletes and their organizations using various platforms to advocate for social, cultural, or even global change. So I want to make this clear. There is nothing wrong with that concept so long as it is evenly applied. But see, therein lies the problem. Like with about everything else these days, one side, one party, one political and ideological perspective reigns supreme, and anything or anyone outside of that box is either forced to apologize, is canceled, or both. Now, the examples are countless, but let me just name a few for you. Here's a recent one. The defensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders, formerly known as Redskins, note woke name change, was fined $100,000 a couple weeks ago for his comments on the events of January 6th and the 2020 summer riot season. Not only did he commit the cardinal sin of referring to riots as riots, but also compared them to January 6th, calling it a dust-up in comparison. Was he wrong? Absolutely not, but the woke mob doesn't care. He was fined, forced to apologize, and then deleted his entire Twitter account. But why is it that he was forced to do all of that for supposedly offending the team and league? But just a week or so prior, another coach, Steve Kerr of the Golden State Warriors, was praised as a hero for his speech on gun control. Why does his opinion matter more than Jack Del Rio's? The media and the woke sports community did the same damn thing to Drew Brees when he came out in support of standing for the national anthem. Oh, the horror, I know. But a little heat and backlash from the Twitter finger blue check brigade, and what did Drew do? He walked it all the way back. Shoot, players can't even make their own health and wellness decisions without being ridiculed these days. Not if it goes against the left's agenda, of course. Kyrie Irving, Cole Beasley, and Aaron Rodgers all torn up one side and down the other for their selfish and personal choice to remain unvaccinated. That COVID saga was so asinine, Kyrie Irving was allowed to sit in the stands for home games, though he was barred from playing, even though he could board the team plane and play at away games in free states. That's how absolutely moronic sports have become, thanks to the plague of wokeness. And let's go back to the Live Golf Tour. If you play for a Saudi paycheck, you're taking blood money and selling your soul, but Joe Biden goes to Saudi Arabia to beg for oil and it's all dandy? Or if you're the entire National Basketball Association, you can have contracts worth billions with the Chinese communists, and that's fine. Talk about blood money. Hello. The NBA is so married to Chinese money, they're willing to trash or cancel any player, coach, or entity that dares to even slightly criticize the regime. And I'm sad to say it, but the MLB is no better. Not only are they pushing players and fans alike to endure drag nights and don rainbows on their uniforms, let's not forget that embarrassment of a decision the MLB made to pull last year's All-Star game out of majority black Atlanta to majority white Colorado, depriving that community of millions in revenue, and for what? Another worthless virtue signal. It wasn't over so-called voting rights because Colorado has voting laws just as strict, if not stricter, than Georgia's. But boy, if Commissioner Manfred is worried about rights, oppression, or even the perception of those things, why has he pushed for an MLB presence in Cuba, of all places? The MLB also has a love affair with China, or at least Chinese broadcasting. So a reminder that both Cuba and China heavily restrict what few rights their people have in the first freaking place. But let's round out this double standard tour right here at home. Why is it the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and about every other sports entity and organization not only allow but endorse the BLM movement, even plastering Black Lives Matter across the courts and sidelines? Players able to bring their anti-police and anti-America BS front and center and do it with the full support of professional sports associations? Hell, after the Dallas massacre of July 7th, 2016, the massacre inspired by BLM and the massacre that left 5 officers dead, the Dallas Cowboys were barred from wearing an arm decal on their helmets to pay respect to those officers. But now, the league allows BLM slogans and phrases to be plastered everywhere to show solidarity. Need I remind you that by BLM's own account, they have not only successfully demonized law enforcement, but the organization seeks to defund the police altogether. Woke sports is a freaking joke and a half, but what's the solution? Do we stop watching? Do we stop going to games? Is that what it takes? I hope not. Because before sports and sports media went full woke, it was sports that brought us together. No one cared about race or politics or political affiliation. They left that crap out of it. Now, I fear we won't ever get back to that place, so instead of hoping for it, I believe the solution isn't to pull politics out of sports, but to pull the head shyness out of half of us who see the double standard and just shut up about it. We cancel ourselves so we don't ruffle feathers? Why? Why are we not as proud of our beliefs as those on the woke left? Why are we so damn afraid of offending people who have zero problem offending us? When is the last time you heard a liberal or a woke athlete, coach, owner, or media personality apologize for his or her beliefs? That's right, never. So we need to stop. Only apologize when you are truly wrong, but never, listen to me, never apologize for being right. And those are my final thoughts from Nashville. God bless and take care.